Hi everyone and welcome to Legal Limelight. Today I'm chatting with lawyer Britt and Taly Goody. It has been a while since we caught up. I'm really excited and there's been a lot going on in all of our lives, so this will be a fun one. Hi guys, good to see you. Put my light on.
Hi. Ooh, I'm so excited we're
Hi.
starting. Is Taly here? Yeah, I can.
I think so. Can you hear
Can
me?
everyone else hear us? That's what's important.
Okay.
Can everyone else hear us?
The what's here?
Hi guys! Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you all.
Hi.
It's been so long since our last live stream, like too long. I'm very
I
excited to hear
know. Like,
updates on
when was the
everything.
last one? Was it before I had the baby? I think it was. Oh my gosh!
It might have been.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, how are you guys?
Who wants to
All right.
start? Who wants to start? I want to hear updates.
Okay.
I'm like chomping at the bit.
All right. So I
think Taly should start.
I'm sorry? Yes, I grew a
You had a
human,
human.
and I think we lost Britt.
You grew a human. Oh no.
I don't even see her at all.
She looks frozen on my screen.
Okay, she's back.
Yeah, I'm inviting
Or
her
she's
again.
frozen.
I'm
Okay. Okay.
here.
Yay. So let me start. So yes, I did grow a human. She was born 10 months ago. So we're coming up already on 1 year. So this past year, it's been really about me finding my groove as a mom and as a law firm owner, which has definitely been challenging, but amazing at the same time. And I got a new office space. I don't know if you guys can see my Goody Law Group. It's like a glow up sign back there. So I'm in my office right now. It's my first official Goody Law Group
That's
office.
so awesome.
And I got it like beginning of the year. It's really exciting. So it's in Palos Verdes, California. And it's
Where is
literally 3 minutes walking from my house. I wanted something close where I can just say goodbye, go leave my house, come to my place. You know, if I want to expand my team here, I can. There's space for them. So that's my goal. And I'm looking to bring on a new team member soon. So
How big is
we are
team,
about 6 people, including outsourcing. The outsourcing is like, yeah, I'm counting them as people, but yeah. So yeah, so it's exciting.
Yeah, of course.
I did. I worked
You were
from home
before this?
and I'm sorry?
And your team?
Yeah, everybody works remote.
And your team works from home?
From all over the place. So this is different.
Right.
So it's something new. I'm excited to kind of figure out how this works. I do love my location of my office. And like I've met new people here, and I had people actually just see my sign and come in and ask for help. So like great marketing. So yeah.
That's great.
Well,
What made you
I
do
really
it?
just
What was,
wanted, like
the
I said, I
impetus?
wanted my own space, especially since my baby came. I wanted to be able to separate home from work. I think that's a big thing, especially to kind of get that groove of I want to be home and be present with my daughter when I'm home, you know? And then when I'm at work, I want to focus on my time at work. Of course, there are times where I'm just going to sit at home. Like this week, a few days of the week, I worked at home. My daughter's actually, my mom helps us. So she comes and picks her up in the morning. She's not at home. But I did want, you know, like the afternoons when she comes home, I want to focus on her and just be like full attention and be, you know, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. My kids are in daycare. So we had a nanny at first, and there's no separation. Or like when our families would come over, if it's your mom, like our families would come over and they'd be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'm on a client call. I'm at
Yeah,
work."
I think it's
Like,
important, especially, I mean, I'm
so
still trying to
you
figure it out. I
definitely need
don't know
that
how you feel about it,
separation.
Francesca, but it's hard. Like being a mom and a law firm owner is not easy. Like, and I have help. I don't know about people who don't have help. Like I could not do it. You know what I mean? There's just so much in my brain at all times.
There's this really amazing article in, I think it was in Fortune, that talked about how
Mhm.
not enough women share who, like, our support systems, like whether it's we have cleaning people or we have someone that comes and helps us with
Yeah.
groceries or pickup. Like, more women need to talk about it. So I'm really glad you are, because like the one thing I learned, and it doesn't matter if you have kids or like whatever your life is, you know, if you are rising in your career, if you're going to be an entrepreneur, a CEO, like whatever that is, you have to
Mhm.
commit more time to doing things that, you know, are a little bit higher level or take up a lot of your time. The work still has to get done. The laundry still has to get done. The food, like there's so much. So the more we talk about it, the less
It's
pressure it
not.
is for women to
It's not
feel
possible at
like
all.
the
Yeah.
guilt of having to do
And
it
I
all,
think, yeah,
because
I
it's
think
not
people
possible
should,
to do it
I
all.
want to talk more about it because I feel like I haven't, like on my Instagram, I want to talk more about like, you know, the difficulties, the best parts of it. I mean, there's just so much that goes with it. And that's something I plan to do in the future, just to share. So other moms and law firm owners can still feel like, you know, you can do it, but you just need help. No.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
No
But
one
that's a
does
little
everything
about me.
themselves. It's not
Oh, and I
possible.
hosted my most recent mock law school class about a few weeks ago. So that was fun too. But that's all my updates. I'll let you guys take it from here.
Britt, you were one night in
Yes.
Bangkok, traveling the world, being a boss,
Oh man,
like
like going
updates.
away was so good for my soul. I'm not gonna lie. So for those of you that don't know, I think it was like 17 days and I went to Asia. So I went to Tokyo, Kyoto in Japan, and then we did Bangkok and Krabi in Thailand. It was great. It was so wonderful. And like probably the most amazing like part of the trip that wasn't the trip itself was the fact that my firm kept running basically without me.
Love it.
Like there were times when I popped in, I said a couple things here, or like I kept up with what was going on in our Slack channel because we communicate like 100% on Slack. We're all remote as well. Like we don't have an office. So everything people are saying is in Slack. So I see the conversations are going on and I was like popping in when need be, but like I didn't feel like I had to stop what I was doing, like what I was enjoying to actually like make the business run. In fact, it's a 12-hour time difference. So like most of the time that I was there, like when I was awake doing stuff, you guys were all asleep. So I was like looking at what happened that day and whatever. And there were a couple times where I like woke up super early for no reason because I just jet lagged or whatever. And I was talking to people and it was like the end of their day and they're telling me what's going on. They're like, oh, this is going great. And we had a huge month. Like I went away for, I mean, it's still April. So like I'm not counting April yet, but it will be big. But March was a huge month for us. And just having that feeling, because we talked about this on past live streams, but when I first started my business, I had a little post-it of what I wanted. And I wanted a business that made money without my daily input because I started a business to travel and I feel like I like nailed it. Like I feel like I have reached that point where my business can just run. Like I still have the post that it's actually in this cabinet over here. It's like a business that runs without my daily input. And that's literally what I had over this trip. Like I went away and everything was like running, everything was going smoothly, no fires, no craziness. And if there were like there were team members to help take care of it, which was absolutely amazing. Like I love my team. Like we serve clients so well that like I don't even need to like make some decisions. They already know, okay, this is how we handle things. This is how we value this. And I love that. It was amazing.
Nice.
How many
16.
Good
people are
job,
on your
Britt.
team?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm not, yeah, I guess I'm not counting like our accountant and all that stuff, but the people that are like in-house
That's so
working are
great.
16.
Yay. And you're hosting
Yeah, I
all of
love it.
your
It's so much fun.
what are they called? I know you have different classes, right? You have several. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, my programs. Yeah.
That's awesome.
All trademark.
All trademarked.
Thank you, Francesca. Yeah, so I'm doing the programs as well. And that's like almost like, I mean, it's a profitable business, but it's like a passion project for me because I obviously just talked for, 45 seconds without breathing with like how much I love my law firm and running it and building it and everything. And I love teaching other people how to do that. And like when my clients have wins, like I have clients who like have just started their law firms and are just growing their law firms, getting their first clients, like, increasing their revenue and their income. And it's like, I get high off of that. Like I'm like super excited. They're like, I got a client. I'm like, yeah, you did. That's great. And like it makes me happy.
That's
I love doing
amazing.
it.
Well, really proud of you, Britt. You're doing an
Yeah.
amazing job. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, Francesca,
Yeah.
you
Thank
just
you.
started your own firm, right?
And a lot sooner
Yeah.
than people thought.
Oh my God. A lot sooner than yeah, thank you, Britt. Like for anyone who is thinking about it or hasn't really thought about it, but maybe like is just looking for something different or a different lifestyle, talk to Britt. She has her whole program, and I basically did coaching with Britt. And sometimes it's just having you need coaches, right? Like it's like anything. There are people who figured it out and have taken so much time and went through the hardship to figure out what like a method that works. That working with you, Britt, like really just I was like, okay, I know I want this. I know I can do it. Like just tell me what I need to do. And we did it really fast. I left my old firm and I just was like, all right, I already have all my logos for my name. We're just gonna start for now under my name just to get the business started. I worked with my interns. I brought them over. Now I just hired 3 of our interns to start working with us full time when they graduate. And we're bringing on another partner.
No,
so that's
you
huge. I don't think I
yes.
told you that, Britt. I'm bringing on a contract partner. And we just did all of our pictures
Yay,
for
that's
our
exciting.
new website because we're going to rebrand.
So you
Oh my
worked
God.
with Jackie and Shy, right? The same photographers that I used.
Like,
oh my gosh,
they're
like,
my
they have
people.
a vision,
Like,
and they just like they bring it to life. If anybody listening is wondering like imagery, like how to get a photo shoot done, like they are the people.
For any industry, like even like lawyers too, they found this niche with lawyers, but like they're so badass. And like I know, I told them, I was like, I want to build modern, next gen, female led, top tier Manhattan law firm working with global brands. Like that's my mission. And I have a big personality and I'm authentic and I want to show people that there's a way to do things more efficiently and have your lawyer be more of like a strategist and a partner as opposed to like someone you go to with problems. And they're like, okay, boom. And they gave me the mood board. And we went through, all the pictures. We just went like kind of like by shots of like what was on the mood board. And at the end of it, I couldn't believe we got all of those pictures. And they sent me you can actually go on my story and see some behind the scenes. Like it's unbelievable. And so that is probably, we're going to
It's exciting.
launch the new logos, the new site
I'm
in
so excited.
It's really cool. It's like, when we all met, we kind of connected through being on Instagram and building personal brands and businesses, but I was still at a firm and I never saw myself as a brand. But then all of these people, like other in-house lawyers, because my network is a lot of like corporate lawyers, in-house counsel. I worked with very large brands. So they're like messaging me like, Francesca, this is like new and fresh and amazing.
Francesca,
a brand.
I always felt like your
I
brand
actually
was
really did.
always there. I didn't even know you were working for a firm. Like I never remembered that. I always thought you were just on your own because you had such a strong brand on Instagram. Always.
Yeah, and like I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. Like my grandfather started a construction company when he came over from Italy, and like they did very well. So I just always like watched it, and I would work there, and so all these things, right? Like subconsciously, I love leading. I love building a team. Like the women, we're now a team of 10, and
Yes.
I don't even know if I told you, like my husband now, like he quit his job. He's our full-time COO. So he does the business side. I am practicing law, and like I haven't put a single job post out. Like, I think that like, I actually want to like ask you guys about that. Like, what have you done to grow? Because personally for me, I've made decisions to be pulling back on doing a lot of external stuff. Like I'm only focusing on my own events, my own branding, so that I can be really intentional with like our message, our vision, our mission, and the people and the clients we want to attract. Like I got really, really intentional. You know, I'm like, I want to work with global brands, or I want to work with businesses that are scaling to be global brands. And since putting that energy out there and being very intentional, like we have some of the coolest clients that like you see in like billboards in Times Square, and like it's just it's crazy. This happened in a matter of months.
That's so wild. That is incredible.
Yeah. Thanks,
what was
guys. So I would love to know what you guys do to really like build and scale your business. Like for me, it's attracting. I'm not going out. I'm literally just like, okay, I'm gonna attract the people, and I'm gonna go where those types of people are and find my people.
Attracting, right? Like attracting, and like instead of like, obviously like we have like systems in place to attract people, and then we pursue those people when they express interest, right? Any clients or whatnot. But it's really attracting, but it's also path of least resistance, like letting it be simple. Like I'm not like going in a million different directions, because there's a million different things you could do, but I lean into the energy of like, okay, what makes sense for us? What is the simplest way we can do this? How do we let this be easy to bring in clients, run the firm, make money for the team, money for our clients? Like what's the best way to do this? And then I choose that path, and I run with it, right? I go all in on that path rather than trying to like,
I mean, I think it touches on what you were saying, Francesca, just being intentional about every decision you make. I mean, you don't want to just say yes to everything. Right. And that's something I'm really working on. Is like, okay, no, how is this going to help? I have to say no. And I have to say no to certain clients sometimes too, which is like, you know, I'm like thinking about my time, my energy. This client just doesn't fit the vibe, you know? And sometimes you have to do that. And, you know, when you get to that point, it's beautiful, because you're like, I have the privilege and the honor to actually select the clients that are coming through the door, versus I need to just take every single client that comes in. You know what I mean? So I think it is all about intentionally growing and scaling in whatever pace that is for you.
I was just doing a podcast episode on that, on like saying no to potential clients rather than taking in everybody. And I think it's like you're doing a client a disservice if you're not going to offer them what they want. Like there are people that are like, oh, I want to come into the office and meet you once a month to go over it. I'm like, that's not really what we do, but I know an attorney that does that, and you could definitely, you know, get with that person. So sending people in that direction of what they're looking for, and not like rearranging your entire firm and your entire life just to please one client, like the individual, so to speak. But if you're clear on what you're offering, like you said, Francesca, like intentional about this is what we're offering, here's how we operate, this is what we value, the people that you want to serve are going to come find you, be like, yeah, this is what I need. Like I just need someone to take care of it and let me know what's happening, right? And that's your people.
Yeah, because there's some lawyers that aren't like I've realized that you know, like we are higher end. We're not the most expensive, but we're definitely not the cheapest. We're higher end because we work way more efficiently and concierge style. Like when I do a call, I could tell if you're a client that is like, I don't care, but this needs to be the cheapest, like that. I have lawyers for that. I have friends I refer stuff to. So I'm like very like nice about it. I'm like, reach out to this person. She's going to take great care of you. But then there's lawyers or clients that want to micromanage me. And I'm like, okay, this isn't going to be a good fit, because that's what you're paying for. You're paying for me to kind of like help you strategize and be a partner and take stuff off your plate.
Yeah, you can
tell
like right from that initial call.
Like,
you're like,
what's a good fit and what's not.
I can sense a little bit of a micromanaging vibes here. I can't, you know? And so I think it like naturally works out where I'm like, initially I say no, and I'm like, wait, should I have taken that case? And then I like look back and I'm like, it all worked out the way it was supposed to, you know? Like no overthinking, no second guessing, no doubting.
Yeah, I agree.
The saying no thing is a concept that like permeates throughout my whole life. Like saying no to people that don't make me feel good. I don't have the time. Saying no to people who are energy suckers. I'm sure we all know them, and some of them are family. Like it's just inevitable. So you have to be able to, you know, set boundaries. That whole concept of saying no and setting boundaries has been something that I don't think a lot of women talk about, like, because it goes back to us thinking we can do everything. We can clean the house, we can cook dinner, we can run a business. Like it's not possible to do everything, but you can figure out who on your team, like it's like running a business, you know, like running a house is also like a lot of teamwork. So I've really figured that out, and I'm very like, there are things that I say no to, like things that, okay, like writing thank you cards. Okay, I know that sounds like kind of messed up, like, oh, why don't you write thank you cards? I don't write thank you cards because I'd rather actually like go to lunch with my friend who did something nice for me and like spend quality time versus like spending 10 hours, you know, however long, writing all these thank you cards for my kids when it's like, number one, my handwriting sucks anyway. So it's literally not saying yes to everything and just
I have been leaning
saying
into
no
the
to
energy
things.
of saying no to topics of conversation because there's a lot going on online where it's
Ooh.
like, oh, cut toxic people out of your life and blah, blah, blah. And I have come to the conclusion that people, there are toxic people. There are people that don't align with your energy. There are people that are energy suckers. But there's also people that you get along with or that are in your family that you're kind of stuck with that they don't have the same view as you in certain things. And I don't even mean like political. I mean like everything else, like how you're living your life, monetary decisions, like business decisions. Like, don't talk to Uncle Joe about your upcoming business decisions, if he's somebody who has never run a business in his life, because he's just kind of come up with all of his fear-based responses, like, oh, you sure about that? And like, what if this happens? And well, I heard this on the news. And then it's like, you feel like crap because now he's just given you all of his limiting beliefs and what's wrong. And like, sometimes you hear him and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. But then sometimes you're like, oh shoot, maybe I should do this instead. So I have like selected topics and I'm like, I will only discuss those topics with people that I think are fit for those topics. And there's other people that I'm just like, I don't discuss this topic with anybody except for like my significant other and my closest friends, you know? So like, that's what I'm leaning into. And if somebody brings up a topic, instead of going into detail and like letting them ramble on or whatever, I'm like, that's cool. Let's talk about blah, blah, blah. Or like, I literally just like 180, like let's talk about something different because I can't like let your energy and your vibes of that topic into my life, but we could totally discuss something else.
I love that.
I'm trying to like lead into.
Yeah, that's so true. It's like funny. It's
not always the person.
For me, I'm like, I don't know if you guys are like this, but I'm trying not to watch the news as much. I know that sounds silly. I don't watch it, and like Grayson, my husband.
Oh, I stopped watching.
Don't you know what's going on? I'm like, I kind of don't, and I'm kind of happy about it. I'm sorry, but I don't want to know what's going on. Like, I just want to be focused in how I'm feeling, my energy, what makes me feel good every day, and what I can actually make an impact on. You know, there's just so many things you see in the news. It's so many things that just it drains your energy, and that
it's programming. It's literally called programming. It is intentionally, they're trying to sell you a message and an emotion, and it's a lot of it is fear-based. So it's like, you know, you don't need to live under a rock, but you also don't need to watch something that someone's trying to just like make you feel a certain way, and when it's mostly
plus
negative.
You probably get all the
you
need from
always feels me,
anyway,
and I'm like, oh, cool, good to know.
Yeah, Jason will be like, oh, did you see this crazy thing that happened? I'm like, no, but I bet you're going to give me the 30-second version. So you have somebody, and I like to follow people who, like, I want certain kinds of news. Like, I want news, like, on, like, economy and, like, making decisions for money and blah, blah, blah. So, like, I follow people, but I try to follow people on either side. Right.
You've
I'm like
curated
program
who you
myself,
listen
right?
to.
And I try to find people that are like in the middle and try to give like unbiased opinions, and they're trying to give facts and whatnot. But if I can't find somebody who's like totally on point, I'll follow people on like either side. So I'm getting like both ends, and I'm like, okay, I can make my own conclusion and interpretation based on what they're saying. So yes, I'm trying to curate my own program, so to speak. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What? Yeah, we need to do a formal podcast, Britt. I'll make an exception for you because I'm not doing anyone else's.
What I didn't say earlier too, because we changed topics, was about you starting your law firm much sooner. So like, I think one of the best parts about coaching you and working together so you could start your firm was that you were so like dialed in and receptive. Like, some people are so dialed in on their goal and their vision, but they've got, like we were saying, about being unintentional, where they've got like 400 million ideas that they want to pursue all at the same time. And I'm like, let's dial it back. Let's look at the one idea. And so when we talked about like, okay, this is what we could do, and this is like the whole timeline, I'm like, let's shorten up the timeline and go for it now. And you were so receptive to it, and you were just like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Let's do it. Like, let's work for it. Some people are a little more like closed-minded, or they're just like all over the place. So I think what was really great is that you were like very like gung-ho, very like, let's do it now. And it was like a simplified plan. So I think that's why it worked so well. And obviously because you're such a genius.
Oh, you know, it's just, I've always believed that like there are people who have done this. Like there's a science, there's a method to it. Like you read books, find the right people, like Britt, you know, and Taly too. Like we would do, like we have like mini mastermind groups that we connect with offline. Like that, I follow you guys and I actually apply it because like you guys have done it. And so I think, and I'm not a complainer. I think there are people who will come to you, Britt, and will do your programs because, and won't take away the stuff because they're negative and they can't let their own, they can't get out of their own way, but they'll still pay you to tell them what to do.
I wonder how to get over that hump. I wonder how to get over that hump of like somebody wanting to do the thing, but stopping themselves from doing the thing. And I try to use like mindset resets to get people on board with my like practices and vision, and like, here's what's available to you to achieve this goal. Now, you know, go use those tools and do it. I want them to get over that mindset hump. I think that's like probably the most challenging thing, is getting people out of their own head. Yeah.
It's psychology, but also too, like, listen, I don't know the answer, but I'm fascinated with what makes some people successful and what doesn't. Like right, like you gave me the guidebook, right? I think it has something to do with people's mindsets. I really do. And they have to put in the work to, you know, overcome their own limiting beliefs.
It has to do with like,
and some people just don't really put in the work.
Set too lofty of goals, and they just don't break those goals down, because you could have these huge goals, but if you're not breaking them down by, you know, quarterly goals, monthly goals, weekly goals, you're never going to actually get there. You're just going to be overwhelmed, and you're just never going to start. And I know that because I feel like that's one of my weaknesses, where I like to set these big goals and I'm like, all right, I got this, you know. And then sometimes I'm just like, oh man, I just got to get started. And it's just that one, you know, that one step that I have to take. And it just kind of comes down to breaking those big goals down. Yeah.
That's a good point.
I love that. Yeah, because it's still the goal. You still have huge goals, and everyone should have ridiculously big, unrealistic goals. Like I truly believe your goals should be insanely big, but those are long-term goals. Then you also need daily goals, weekly goals, monthly goals, like goals along the way that
one of my all-time favorite people to follow, Amanda Francis, she talks about like the how is not your responsibility. So like we all have these crazy goals, and it's maybe what you're talking about, Taly, where people get like overwhelmed. They're like, how am I supposed to get there? Like, I don't even have a law firm yet. How do I get to 7 figures? That seems insane, right? It's like, well, you don't have to know how that's going to happen. Like people don't know how it's going to happen, how it's going to play out. They just know that's the desire, and here's the steps I can take a day to move forward in that vision and that desire. Here are the steps that I can take this week, this month, maybe even this year, right? Even though I don't usually like plan out that far in advance anyway. I have like pinpoints and desires, but I'm not like, here's what I'm doing in December, you know, because it's so far away. I don't know what that's going to look like. So I think it's like maybe taking the how out of account. Like, how am I going to get there? We don't know yet. But we know how we can get to 100 grand. We know how we can get to 10.
And just like taking one small step every day. I think that's like so important. And then kind of keeping those habits that get you motivated every day. And, you know, whatever that is for you, your morning routine, working out, whatever it is, just keeping up with that, I think is really important to keep that motivation and, you know, help you take that first step.
Right.
Oh, this is amazing, guys. I could talk with you forever. We'll do another one because all the comments and everything have been amazing. I think people want us back. But no, it's I think it's cool to like have us come together because we're all doing different things, but a lot of the stuff we said is very similar. A lot of the same principles, you know, like saying no to things, having goals, and also like support systems.
Thanks,
So
guys.
thank you guys so much. This was awesome. Where's the best place that people can find you?
At lawyer.
And I'm at Taly Goody ESQ. Yay. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Awesome.
Gosh, amazing, guys.
Bye.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
tuning in. Bye.
Bye. I'll see you next Thursday,
Thank you.
1 o'clock Eastern time. This